So a little bit close to the ball, right? We want to feel like we're probably about 2 or 3 inches behind it.
Okay.
Let's see where we're at here. So our club path was out to the right, face was to the left. We got a straight ball. Okay. Let's see where we were on impact here a little bit. Kind of focus on that a little bit maybe too. So, we're going to do this real quick. I'm going to see where we're at here with our set. Right? Alright, so it may be just a little bit too far back in our setup. Just kind of sure. So let's kind of get ourselves, let's try to get our left heel up against this red line. Okay. Here we go. Good. Now give me a setup. Give me a little wider stance. There you go. There you go. Good. Let's see how we do there, okay? Let's see what we do with our loft. Whoa, we got some height again.
Yeah.
Right? So here's a few things, right? We got back to where we want to be, the 2 and 3 area right there.
Okay.
Right? Total got a lot more because we got some carry. Path is okay, just a little bit inside, that's fine. But the big thing that I'm seeing is their spin rates down, which is really good too. Right? These are 2 good things right here for us. Big thing is, I think the ball's starting to creep back in your setup a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so making sure that's what we're going to kind of work on here for the next 10, 15 balls or so like that, just working on the setup, making sure that you feel optically when you look at it how much further up it needs to be compared to here, right? Because if I get, and if I just kind of show you this, right? If I get here, right? If I put the ball right there, you see my shoulders are here. If I get here, then it automatically kind of gets me back behind that ball just a little bit more and gives me a little bit more time for that club to come up.
Okay.
Good. All right, so what I'm going to kind of do here, let me grab this behind the rod. Right up here. Good. All right, so I'm going to put this right here in line with it. Okay. And I want us to get our feet up against that, right? Get our heels together on that, right? And I want you to kind of leave your left foot kind of somewhere along that line, right? It doesn't have to be right on it, but definitely more forward than what we're typically playing.
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, good. Now the other thing we're going to do to kind of help your loft a little bit. Okay, there you go. Good. Yep, leave that open. Good. So we are putting things in to get height.
Yeah.
Okay. Now one thing you kind of do just a little bit, and you have to be aware of it, right? Is that when you kind of set up here, right, with the driver, you kind of have this thing kind of like this. Okay. Now if I get it just like that, I've got what, maybe 10 degrees of loft, let's just say.
Yeah.
Right. That's 10 degrees of loft when it sits. That's probably going to be more like 8 to 7, right? And it doesn't seem like much. We're like, oh, I'm going to keep that thing square,
yeah,
right? But what I'm doing is I'm turning the face down, which we don't really want. We really want to kind of feel like that face is open right here. That's going to help us get to the inside. And we really have to, at that point, really release our wrists and turn our body at that point to get this club square, right? But now we're definitely getting the ball up, which is good. Again. So when you practice, this is kind of how I want you to kind of do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of get an alignment rod here, get your left heel up against that pretty much, right? And feel like you're really loading up back behind that ball. There you go, very good, right? Feel like a lot of weight on that backside as we came through?
Yeah. Now the other thing too, as I changed the shaft to a senior shaft, I don't know if that was the right thing for me to do or not.
Well, do you have the old shaft?
Yeah, so.
Okay. Well, maybe we might want to put that in.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, maybe to go back to that. Because I hit a senior shaft with this, you know, same club one time, and I hit it pretty good, and I was like, oh, maybe I should try that. But if anything, I think I've lost something than gained.
Well, I think let's try this for me. Do this for me. Choke down on it a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Choke down on it just a smidge for me. Because one thing I think we may want to do before we just, you know, throw the baby out with the bathwater is maybe give it a cut. So if I cut it at the butt, it'll stiffen it up just a tid for us, and it'll probably give you a lot more control. Does that make sense? Because it's not that you're a 6'4" guy, right? And we've got a full length driver there, right? So it might be one of those things, if I get you to kind of choke down on it a little bit, maybe we get a little bit stiffer results.
Okay.
So with that being in mind, right? How does that feel as far as control goes?
More or less the same, I think.
Okay. But the big thing is that, at least that what I'm seeing here, Mike, is that we're starting to get to a low point behind the ball, much better, right? Which is going to give us much more launch, right? And that one was at 62 feet height. Okay, that's pretty good for what we're trying to do. I mean, I think the pros try to keep it about 96, somewhere around there, but they're going to have a lot more speed and a lot more power. Camera set up here. We'll start taking photos. Oh, come on, guys. Give you guys a free tripod before you get. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Well, you'd assume it's hard to break a tripod too, but maybe not.
I live with 2 kids. I seem terrible. No. So nothing really surprises me anymore, my friend. I'm just kind of like, gosh. Whenever you're ready, you got to do it.
My boys know where it is.
Okay. All right, let's take a
Well, at
look.
least
That's a good one to look at then.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see.
At least they got the height for sure, but.
All right, so let's kind of take a look. We got Brooksy here with us. All right, so let's draw a few lines here. See how we're doing. There. Alright, so I've kind of put a few lines in here to kind of explain a few things, right? So we
Yeah.
can see what the shoulders are doing, we can see what the hips are doing. The line on the right side is to see if we're sliding past it, how much, if any,
Yeah.
right? The other one is that the one here in the front, right? As we kind of come, we want to kind of get into that, and then we want to feel like we're turning inside of that, right? So if we go past that line, then we'll probably slide a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, and the line up there by our head is to kind of indicate where our head's moving to. So it gives us a good frame of reference. Okay.
Slide way back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can see at this point right now, we've kind of slid back quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right? Our left elbow's breaking down on us to kind of support that move that we're trying to make. Our left shoulders come back quite a bit, right? But it's really just kind of artificial,
Yeah.
right? It's not really a chest turn, more it is just the chest kind of getting, just kind of pushing your chest over there, right? So let's take a look at our head and see where that might be going, right? So you can see our head's moved quite a bit off that ball too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good job of keeping the head behind the ball. Did slide. So we need to kind of get rid of that slide.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's just kind of take a look at a few things here. Brooks, he kind of comes through here. Alright, so watch how much his head does move off the line, right?
Yeah, only a little bit, yeah.
But probably, what, maybe 4 or 5 inches maybe?
Yeah.
You've got every bit of maybe a foot here, right?
Yeah.
Right, so it's kind of more, for you, it's just kind of one of these. We're kind of coming through just a little bit. Okay, so let's kind of get this guy on out, right? The old visual chalk. All right, so once you get your right foot up into that for me. Okay, so what we're going to kind of do here, and I'll demonstrate it for you. All right, I know we've done this before. All right, we're going to get that foot right on up in there. All right. Probably just lose the club for just a few turns here, and then really feel how much we're loading into this right side instead of sliding across, right? We want to really feel like we're getting back into it, really feeling like my right side, it's going back this way, okay? So go ahead and put your foot right up on there, all right? Nice and high, don't be afraid. Good. Okay, arms across your chest. Just to get a feel. Maybe a little bit wider stance for you, so you got balance. Good. Now as we rotate and turn. Good. There you go. There you go. Good. 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 So you see how much more you're turning into this right side now?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you can kind of see in our video here, all right, as we look at our lower body,
Doesn't move till I get almost all the way back with my swing.
right? So, you know, the shift and turn is really early in the swing, right? It's this first part right there. I'm pretty much done setting my weight over here. For you, it's kind of like we get the arms going, and then we're going to kind of shift the body a little late,
Yeah.
right? So it's going to be a shift and move early in the swing. So when I'm here, I've already gotten most of my turn into that what I want, right? For you, it's kind of, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just kind of get that feel for what we're trying to do, right? Yeah. Now my question to you, do you feel like you're getting more loaded up and more powerful?
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Because I'm sure at the other swing or the other motion that we're making, it probably feels like we're trying to catch up throughout the whole part of the swing. Am I right on that with no power?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. Now, if we kind of do that again for me, right? So go ahead and start again real quick for me. Okay. There we go. All right. So your head has only moved 4 or 5 inches, what we need,
Yeah.
right? Compared to what I see over here, where the head's just going way over here, right? Okay. So do that for a few minutes, okay? I want you to get a feel for that, okay? All right, good. Really loading into that right side. Now the other thing I bet you feel is that you're really pressing into the ground with that right foot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let me ask you, in that swing right there, do you feel like you probably put a lot of weight into the ground on that right side, or does it just feel like we kind of spun up to the top?
Yeah, it's more just moving my arms.
Okay. All right.
Not my lower.
Does it have kind of the feeling, like I like to say, does it just feel like you're kind of spinning around your ankles?
Yeah.
Okay. So we really want to feel like we're loading into that right side. That's our big issue, right? Okay. And that's going to be the reason why we're getting a flat trajectory, right? Because I'm getting here, right? And we're never really getting behind, we're getting behind the ball, but we're kind of sliding into the ball. And that, you can see my pelvis is going to just kind of stay neutral as it comes through, right? When we see guys like Brooks Koepka here, when they get here, you're going to see these hips firing up, right? And that's going to give them his launch angle and all that good stuff. Okay? Any questions, big guy? Is that hurting the back a little bit?
No.
Okay. Okay, good. So I'm going to give you the club here. Okay? We're going to get our foot up in there. Okay? And I just want you to kind of make some small swings, easy swings. Try to get used to loading up into this right side. Allow your left knee to come back just a little bit. That will help you out a little bit. Let's keep. Like to see that club up a little bit. Looks a little flat on the takeaway, okay? So go ahead and get up to the top backswing. There you go. Okay, that's where we need to kind of be. Okay, that's going to allow you to drop the club into the slot. Okay, but if I get right here where you're at, right, I'm probably going to make this motion.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Once again, up to the top. There we go. All right. There we go. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the transition here, okay? So once you get on up to the top, okay? Once you get on up to the top, we'll talk about good. So what we want to kind of feel, right, is that pressure loading into this lead side, upper body kind of staying there, good. So if I kind of showed you a box on my rear end, right, if I put a box on my rear end, when I get up to the top, you'd see my rear end sliding this way. So it'll go like this, right? Okay, that's what our transition is going to be. Okay, so two parts, right? I got to get you to turn solid into that right side, and the other part is making sure that we get that transition and not get here and then unwind from the top. Right. Does that make sense? Okay. And again, for me, just give me a couple swings. Up to the top, stop. Stomp that left foot. There you go. What's your right elbow doing? Focus on your right elbow for just a sec, right? You feel that kind of squashing in on you a little bit? Okay. Set up again for me. Need to have this deadlocked, okay? All right, there's going to be just a little flex in it, but we don't want to break back, just like that. Good. Okay, now we've got that club in a good position. There's the center of our chest, there's our hands. Very good. All right, so, yep. Give me some words. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Talk to me.
Well, I'm feeling more coiled for sure.
Okay.
With that, like I'm, trying to not so much move my arms like this as much as I'm trying to kind of make it all in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
And load up. So that's a lot more loaded than I normally, because normally I'll just go like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so really loading into that right side. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Okay. All right. So let's kind of see if we can piece this all together, right? So a few things that we kind of recapped and touched on, right? One was ball position. Make sure we've got that up in our setup, right? We want to feel like as we get to impact, our head's kind of behind the ball just a little bit as we come through, right? Now the other things that we're kind of working on is making sure that we're loading into this right side. Boom, right into that right side, not allowing this guy to kind of slide a little bit. And the other thing is that we're trying to do is make sure that we're not getting in close strapped to our chest, but more kind of out and away. Does that make sense? Now, with all that being said, just hit a perfect ball, right? check your ball position. I'm gonna put this guy down. Good. So, yep. Getting back to that diving move. Okay, we don't need to kill it. We're just trying to get a feel for something. So let's load into that right side and just feel like we're swinging up on it. Take a look.
See how we're doing those on the right side.
And it's still kind of going across it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
All right, you see how the hips, when I look at the hips, they're just kind of going flat, right? I should see some more of this going on, right? So when I look at your hips, right now they're kind of doing this. Right? Okay, so that's one part we need to fix, right? So we really need to kind of feel like we're here and there. Okay, so if I had, you know, an object on the ground, which I did, if I had you kind of pulling something right here, right? You see the motion that I'm making with my legs?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not going to be this. Okay. I know it seems like we got to get back behind the ball, but our setup's already got us behind it. Does that make sense?
Right.
All right, so give me just a couple swings here, kind of get that feeling, okay? Load into that right side.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again. There you go. Right. I bet you feel a lot of pressure into this heel.
Sure.
Right. Now let's kind of work on the. Right. Now, where's our wrist hinge?
Yeah.
All right. Let's have a little wrist hinge. Right. Okay. Good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Chin up just a little bit for me. Let that left shoulder go underneath our chin. Yeah. Can you give me some words that associate with that feeling right now?
Well, I mean, again, it feels like I'm really coiled. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It all goes out the window when I get there.
I get you.
Swing.
I get you. We're loading into that right side, a little wrist hinge,
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Give me some wrist hinge. There you go. All right, yeah, chin up, shoulder going underneath our chin. There you go, good. Good. Let's take a look at that. So here's the first one. Much better. That's where we want our shoulders to be right there, or our arms to be. There you go. Okay. Where we were before, you were down below here. Okay, so you're getting a great job with your right elbow. Okay. That's much more where we want to kind of be. Let's take a look face on. I'd like to see a little bit more wrist hinge. Okay. Pretty stiff wristed. Right? So loosen up the forearms just a little bit. Now we're loading into that right side. Right? Much more what we'd see out of Brooks Koepka or somebody like that. Okay? Let's just try to loosen up those wrists a little bit. Okay? And kind of go from there. All right? Give me a couple swings here. So if I take a look at Brooks' swing here, right? See how he's getting that shaft kind of parallel or pointing towards his target, right? I'm not saying we're going to get there, okay? I'm not saying that. But I'd really like to see kind of more of at least this, right? And where you kind of get your wrist hinge is just by breaking your arm, right? Okay. Ready to hit a few, big guy?
Yeah, boy.
Okay. All right. Got a few things we need to work on. It's okay. Ball placement being one. How's our grip feeling? We feeling the fingers in the left hand? Right. Left hand on top. There you go. Good. Feel like you're swimming back. Take a look back there real quick. Okay. So still kind of sliding into a little bit, right? See how our hips aren't really moving up, right? So if I kind of compare, right? Let's just see what his hips are doing, right? See how he's getting a little bit more turn here, right? You're kind of starting to get there a little bit. So for you, you know, and I think you can kind of see it, right, as our first move with our body, it's kind of like this. Yeah. Right? Okay. Let's kind of take a look at Brooks here just for a second. See. All right, so let's just kind of watch his chest. All right. Big thing is that as he gets here, right, watch his head. gets back behind the line, starts coming towards it, and then he moves just back behind it ever so. All right, let's see what your head is kind of doing here just a little bit. Moves back, moves forward, and it doesn't really ever move back per se. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't, like you said, he drops his club into the slot where mine stays way out.
Yes.
Because he'll start to drop it, you know, as soon as it right there, he'll start dropping it. Like even his right elbow starts coming down.
Yeah.
Where mine stays way out.
So it's got to be one of those things, right? It's kind of like if I got you back, you know, we've got to get kind of back to what we used to do, right? So it's kind of one of those things. As I'm winding up, right, my weight shift in the beginning is done right now. Okay, now it's just kind of turning. Okay, now as I get on up to about here, I shift this way, and I'm still kind of going back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For you, you get back on over here like this, and then everything just kind of unwinds together.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got to get to the point where it's kind of one of those things, just like if I was throwing a ball, the cross crawl pattern that I need to have, I've got to be here, right? But if I kind of go like this, you can kind of see I'm starting to move into this way, and I'm still going to kind of rear back just a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you kind of see me right here, right, as I kind of rear back, I'm still going to have maybe this much more I go back with my hand, right?
Yeah.
Right, so that's that cross crawl pattern, right? And now it's just kind of getting down here and going. For you, you kind of get over here and then it's kind of spin out of the way and everything's kind of diving forward.
Yeah.
Okay? Let me ask you, just give me some ideas or give me some words that make you think or give you what you kind of feel here. Like, does it feel like you just kind of dive down?
Well, it's not much of a feeling as much as I see it. You know what I mean? I can see what I'm doing. No, I mean I don't know. For some reason, there's not a lot of thought to it while I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I mean, once I swing, I can kind of feel that I'm swaying, you know, or I'm flipping at the ball.
Yeah.
But you know, when I'm actually doing it, it's almost more just like the muscle memory. You know what I mean? It's not like because if I think about things, then things usually go all wrong, you know.
Okay. So let's try to get just to a simple point right now. Instead of doing a full swing, let me see the driver here real quick. Let's just try to do this. Okay? And just stand right on there. All right, let's just try to get us, if I get you to kind of just do one of these kind of, right? I just want you to kind of feel like we go forward and then back just a little bit, right? So if I kind of go like this and right now, it's going to be out to the right a little bit, which I'm not afraid of. But we just got to start getting our body to move in the right frame of reference. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right now, because for you, it's kind of like this, and then your first move is just kind of down, right? So we want to kind of get it maybe just take a few small swings, right, and just focus on this hip turning up and around.
Yeah, that's about the only way. I mean, when I'm at the range and I'm trying to make sure I hit up on it, that's about the only way I can do it. Is I'm kind of a little bit of a half or 3/4 swing, so that and then I feel like I'm actually coming up. Versus when I'm normally swinging, I'm not really feeling anything, but I can tell the result that I wasn't coming up.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because again, I can do it at the range, but I can't do it in a full swing. I can only do it in about a half swing.
Okay. And that's probably just repetition, trying to get that small move and then trying to work a little bit further back and trying to isolate it. The other thing might be that you might be swinging further than what you think you are out.
Yeah.
Right? That small little swing might be more of where we need to be than where we're at. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you know, making sure that we probably, you know, get just a little swing like this and making sure that we focus on this hip turning up and out. And as you can kind of see, that's going to get my chest a little bit further back, just a little bit as I kind of turn, right?
Yeah.
But if I kind of get like this and I slide my hips this way and then I slide my hips the other way, Boom.
It's just chopping down.
Yeah, it's just chopping down. So I just want to kind of feel like I'm kind of rotating that left hip, you know, here, right? And then really feeling like I'm holding that finish as I come through. All right, so here, just holding that finish. Okay. But you said you got the old shaft though?
Yeah.
What was the old shaft?
Just a regular flex.
Regular flex?
Yeah. It
Give
was
me
a
a-
little heavier because this one I think is like 45 grams versus 65. I think.
Did I put that one in for you?
No, I had it done in Illinois.
Oh, okay, okay. I do hear a rattle in there. I'd like to get
That's and the weird thing is, even after I had the shaft changed, it's still.
Yeah, there must be some epoxy in
Or
there
something.
or something that
Yeah.
got busted loose in there. Let's hit a few here. Let's work on our impact location too, just a little bit. Like that, let me know where we're hitting it at. Yeah, we get that map. Club path was a little bit over the top, spin rate. Alright. Do it again. Up in our setup. Good. Feel like our sternum. Yep, good. Very good. Big thing is that we're hitting before the ball, which is good. Okay. Path is just a little bit out to the right, or to the left, I mean. All right, so we got to kind of get you back to this. So set up again for me. See this thumb on the side over here. Kind of help with our wrist hinge just a little bit. All right, so as we come right here, and then kind of feel out that way, right? I want to swing that way, and I want to get that toe to rotate. All right, feel how that. Still just a little bit to the top. Go ahead and set up. This guy's gonna come back just a little bit for me. Get you to scooch in just a smidge for me.
Sure.
Yeah, so got your hands just a little bit too extended. Good. Alright, now the other thing we're gonna kind of do, help us out, let's get that face just a little bit open. Alright, just as so. Okay, and then just focus on rotating that face close as we come through, okay, so. That's more where we need to kind of be. Okay, does that feel pretty open to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I kind of take that guy up, see square.
Okay.
Right, when you're getting that, I use like this.
Yeah.
All right, and that's just taking loft off, but we can't, we can't afford to take off. Does that make sense? I know it's going to feel like the face is a little bit open for us, right? But that's going to help us get it soft. All right, good. This is supposed to help us with a path. Let's see if I can. We gotta get you swinging out to the right a little bit. Let me try to think on that real quick, and we'll kind of keep going here. But let's see if I can force you. I'm gonna do. Swinging out to the right. Go ahead and step for me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put that right there on us. Okay. You can move it out just a little bit. Okay. So what I want you to kind of do is feel like you're swinging out and over that. All right. Just a small swing. See what we did? Got it. Alright. Okay, so a few things that we see here, right? Obviously not the direction we want.
Right.
I get you. But low point, much better. Right?
Yeah.
The more I swing in, the more negative I'm gonna have on a lot of things, right? More
Yeah.
positive right there. This is the big one we gotta kind of see right here. Making sure that path is out to the right. Okay, because that's going to do a few things for us, right? That's going to get us to make sure that we're adding loft to it, right? And we're swinging, and we're going to have more speed that way, right? The more I swing to the inside, my chest has to stop to make that motion. The more I'm out here, the more my body can move through. Okay, so go ahead and set up again. Does that make sense, Mike?
Yep.
So if I put that ball right there again. Move that right there. So you got to swing up and over that. Way after. Way after. Once again. All right, it doesn't have to be a big swing, just a small little swing. Let's try to work on our path a little bit, okay? Making sure that we're swinging out to a positive. Good. So you can start to see that these numbers start to correlate.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, now we do have to get the face to close. Right? Didn't even show the face angle. But we got to get that path going to start off with. Right? Up in our setup again, right? Okay. Right foot back just a smidge from me. Here we go. It's all right. So, 7-1 on the clock face. Okay. Take that club back to 7 o'clock and we'll reset 1 o'clock. Swung that a little bit there. Okay. All right, so our path was good. Our attack angle was down.
Yeah.
Right? So it kind of tells me we're kind of doing one of these. We're kind of sliding through and going, right? We got to kind of feel like our chest stays behind, arms are going, and arms and hands are going out away from us. Okay? Good set up for me. Tighten this thing up just a little bit. That seems to be what your bugaboo, at least from what I see, is that you don't want to swing out to the right. You just when I get you to swing out to the right, you still want to kind of pull back in just a little bit, right? Yeah. So we got to have confidence that we can kind of do that. Set up for me. Just kind of give you a feel here, okay? Okay. Now take that club and point it straight up for me, please. No, I mean straight up. Is that a little closed?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get that back to square. Okay, let's put that club on the ground. Okay. Right. I'm feeling that we're swinging out in that direction. Okay. Good. Good. All right, so we got the path to really go out to the right, okay? Let me ask you this. What is it that you kind of feel when you swing out to the right compared to swinging inside? Is there anything that you feel with your body?
I mean, it's just more purposeful. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely more purposeful. And I don't know, again with my 5 hybrid,
Mm-hmm.
I feel so much more at ease doing that. I mean, even to the point where I'll aim, let's say right at the green,
Mm-hmm.
and I know I'll bend it back
Yeah.
to the left.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel really comfortable with that one and not this one.
Well, here, why don't I grab my driver real quick and see what you, give you a different feel,
Yeah.
right? Let's just kind of start with that and see if that kind of helps out just a little bit there. God, I feel like I just went in a swimming pool out there.
Get hot. Mug here. I'll take it.
Okay, so different feel, right? A lot stiffer probably for you. Okay. So just kind of give that a swing here and let's just kind of see how we do, okay? How does the control feel compared to?
Yeah, definitely. I think it feels better. This club feels better.
Once again, set up again for me. Okay. You're still getting a little bit inside here. All right. Good. Good. There you go. Good. There you go. Much better. Right. Right. Good. Let's try this again. Feet together. Make sure that ball is up in our setup. Okay. So we're going to put this like right about here. Big guy. Just gonna rapid fire a few, and we're gonna get used to having our head back behind you, okay? Put that right there. Swinging out towards that second baseman, right? Good. Right? Pack was up to the right, and 4. Those are the things that we're looking at right now. That came in again. Good. Okay? Better. Okay? Better. More what we're trying to go for. Height was, but we're not swinging very fast, which is good. Okay? But we're getting our B. Okay? That's what we need to kind of do a little bit. Right? Our path. Right? These two are going to kind of help each other out. Right? But the more that I start to swing this way, the more the face starts to turn down. And more spin I'm going to put out to the right and lower trajectory. Right, so a few things that we want to kind of work on here with our setup, right? Get an alignment rod, okay? Get our feet together here, okay? Making sure that ball is up in our setup for us, okay? When we first got here, it's kind of more like about here, okay? Now the other thing that we got to kind of work on just a little bit, right, is our lower body, okay? I would get one of these things, or even get your foot up against the wall. I'm sure we've talked about that before. Kind of get your foot up, brace it up against the wall like this, and then just cross. And then make sure that you feel that you're turning into this side. If I kind of take away that part of the foot, then I can't slide. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So if I just kind of get like this, and I go, hey, right hip needs to go in, boom. Okay. Now we'll have to work on the transition a little bit too, right? I mean, it's here. Right, boom, and then up and through, right? But the big thing for us is making sure that we're not doing this, okay, sliding. Now another thing that we got to kind of focus on and work on is our upper body structure, right? Big thing that I kind of see from you is that we're getting back to the idea or the notion of, you know, getting really flat with the swing, right? I don't mind if we take the club on the inside path, Okay, I'm fine with that, right? But I want to keep my arms width extended, right? I don't want to get here and get really short and narrow, okay? I want to keep my arms, you know, I want to kind of feel like if I was pressing down on something on the ground, you know, keeping my arms away, right? That's going to give me most extension and coil, okay? For you right now, you kind of get like this, and then it's really flat. It's here, right? And then it's kind of, we got to kind of move our body this direction to get it started, which gets our angle of attack down. So if I can kind of get you here, right, turning back behind the ball, right, and then making sure that I kind of keep my head behind the ball at impact, boom, then I'm going to start getting, to begin with, probably a little bit out to the right and up, okay? Now the thing that you're going to have to work on to control that or get that is to get that face rotation, right? And it's going to be boom, right? And that's just going to be get your impact bag and working on that, right? And working on boom, making sure that, at least for me, what I always kind of had the idea of is kiss forearms, right? So if I'm here and I'm just thinking about kissing the forearms, boom, then I'm going to allow those hands to release as I come through, right? Okay? So let's kind of talk about some homework that we need to kind of work on, right? One, get something like this. Get your lower body turning back behind the ball, okay? What I see is just kind of a slide here, slide there, okay? So it's really going to feel like I'm kind of, and do you have a gym membership at all?
I mean, we got a gym at our apartment complex.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you find, it doesn't even have to be anything fancy. If you get like an old leg or something like this, right, get like a rope or one of those bands, put it on the ground just like this, and then just kind of do that, right? That's going to get your hips to the idea or the concept of, I need to be more this way than just going like this, right? Because for you, it's kind of like, you get your shift here, well, you get your arms moving, and then it's kind of like, we start shifting, right? We want to make sure that shift is early. So when I get here and I set up, right, boom, I'm already, my weight shifted right here. My arms haven't really moved as much, right? Everything's kind of moved back over here. Now it's just kind of wind up, and then once I get on up to the top, I want to, as I'm starting to get up to the top, I want to kind of go this way, right? So I want to kind of have that yin yang, okay? Arms up, right? Make sure that you feel like your arms are up and that you have a little bit of a wrist hinge, okay? I'm not seeing a lot of wrist hinge or a lot of flexing out wrist, okay? And that's going to kind of get us like this, and that's not going to get us much loft either, right? Because I want to have, you know, if I was thinking about a whip, right? I'd want to get that, my wrist caught so I can really kind of get that thing started. For you, it's kind of like this. And then, you know, there's no power in our arms or wrists at this point. Everything for you is going to be here, so you're kind of diving forward a little bit. If I can get you kind of wrist hinge a little bit, and then we got a little bit more of a lever to add power and strength. Okay? What questions you got, big guy? Talk to me.
No real questions. I mean, I know what you're saying, and I think one of the things too that I gotta be okay with, you know, and I caught myself doing it and I've stopped it, which is go ahead and make the transition even though I haven't completed what I think is my backswing.
Yes.
Because I would catch myself doing it and I'm thinking, no, you know, that's too early to go on my front. And it's probably not.
No.
It's probably not. It's probably like you say, that's probably, you know, getting enough on my back.
That's it.
And then go ahead and transition.
Absolutely.
I don't have to be all the way back before I transition.
Absolutely. You know, you got to think of it as like a dance, right? So it's kind of here and here, here and here. And you can see that you do that naturally if I just told you to do that, right? You can see that my body goes back, my arms go back, my body starts going forward. My arms are still kind of going back just a little bit, right? So it's here and here and here, right? So, and you can kind of see how my body moves here, right? It's not here and then here, right? It's just kind of up and then step. You see how I'm kind of stepping here? Right? So it's here, step, and down. Right? And I think that if you kind of do that, that's going to get your body into the idea of the motion that we need to kind of correctly make, instead of kind of here and here,
Yeah.
right? You're not going to generate speed that way, right? Because we're not really using the ground forces that we need to use.
Yeah.
Right, so if I can get you here, right, and it doesn't have to be a big swing. If I get you loaded up right,
Yeah.
right, look at John Rahm. He just gets loaded up right, it's here, right, so here, right, and then feel that pressure down. So come on over here and let me see you do that, huh? Feel like you're giving it a dance, okay, it's a dance, right? All right, let your arms kind of float, right? Kind of soft. So I want you to get that feeling like as you keep turning, your arms are still going and your weight's transferring. There you go. Okay? Good. Again. No, no, no. There you go. Better transition. There you go. There you go. Good. There you go. Right? Okay? That's how you would throw a ball.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you would do to throw a ball or make any athletic motion, right?
Yeah.
And I could tell when we first started doing this, our mind's trying to figure, what am I trying to do here? And I think this is a drill that I think you need to do probably 10 minutes a day, get our coordination back to that motion that we don't typically make, right? You know, if I'm sitting in a cubicle or driving in a car or on a plane, I'm not going to be making a lot of coordinated movements, right? It's just how it is, right?
Yeah.
But I'd really like for you to kind of get here and you kind of see, that's that transition, that step, right, that I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right? It's not this, right? But it's just pressing into the ground, here and here, boom, right? That's all I got to do. And then on the other side, boom. It's not a lot, but it's just enough to get that weight moving, right? The transfer of the weight's going to move before the action happens. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Right? For you right now, it's kind of like we're trying to do them together.
Yeah.
Right? So one's going to lead, right? Everything kind of, you know, as I go, weight's already shifted, right? Shift, turn, shift, and turn. Okay? It's not going to be shift, turn.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of what you're doing right now. It's like, I got to get everything moving at the same time, right? Okay, just allow things to kind of go. It's going to probably for you feel slow,
Yeah.
right? Because it's winding up, it's taking through and going, right? And that's where power and speed really come from, not from,
Yeah.
right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What questions you got for me, big guy?
That's about it.
What do you got on tap for the weekend? Anything?
Well, today probably more painting.
Oh, God, I'm sorry for that, buddy.
Yeah, but you know, there's an end to it eventually.
You'll get to move into your house.
Yeah, but Saturday Saddlebrook if it's playable, which I'm not a big fan of Saddlebrook, but Tony likes it because he gets it for $25. So.
Well, you can't beat that. I mean, does he get you a deal for $25?
Yeah, he gets a foursome for 20. You know, each of us 25.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I went out and played Lake Bernadette.
Yeah, that thing's gotta be so.
I lost 7 balls in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah. That's
So I mean, well, not in the middle of the fairway, but one was like here's the green, and I'm just on the side of it.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
God, I'm trying to think. I hit one just left on the par 5 where the thing gone.
Yeah.
Number 8, I hit one high towering hybrid right to the middle. Gone. I'm like, and you can just see. I mean, you're like,
Oh, yeah.
and I mean, there's no chance of finding that
Yeah,
ball.
yeah.
I mean, luckily the guys I was playing with, they're like, just drop the ball, let's keep playing. I mean,
Right.
nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
you know.
I played Scotland Yard last weekend, It wasn't bad. I mean, one was closed because
Mhm.
they had a bunch of water. Two almost was like an island green.
Okay.
But
Well,
the rest of the course was pretty good.
I know that there's people talking about how they were skipping one,
Yeah.
playing two, and then finding like another hole to complete their 18 or something like that. Or,
Yeah, we just stopped after that, you know, because there's a bunch of people out there. But yeah, we just played 17.
Yeah.
But,
That's about all you
Yeah.
can do, man. You know, at this time of the year, all you can really hope for is just having some place to play.
oh yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean, because it's not going to be very long. Actually, probably in 30 days,
Yeah.
you know, you're going to have our winter friends coming down.
Sure.
And to be, I think they're going to be pretty shocked with what the conditions are out here nowadays.
Yeah.
That being one, and then you know, two, you're never going to get out there again. You know, that's what sucks. Dude.
Well, and it'll start getting to the dry spot too. You know what I mean? Because we
Mhm.
usually get to a point where a couple months you don't have any rain. You know.
Yeah.
So it'll.
Do you want to